somehow my turn indicator got turned off. I know I had it turned on. That's weird. Hi, I'm Patrick, and in this video, I'm back here in Champaign, Illinois, well, just outside the city, at a farm where I've just picked up a Krone Big M heading over to Effingham. I haven't been to Effingham yet, and, well, that's one of 3 cities in Illinois that I haven't gotten to yet, not counting Chicago, which I plan on going to last. The other 2 cities are Moline and Rockford. So, well, let's get started. Yeah, this is also day 40, so it's the end of the 8th week in the Realistic Economy series. Okay, so yeah, Moline and Rockford. Hopefully, after this job, I'll be able to get a job going to one of those 2 cities. And then next week, the other one, maybe, I hope. And then finally end up in Chicago. At least that's the plan. Yeah, I think I got time to pull. Oh, I think I have enough time though. Yeah, Krone Big M from the Krone Equipment DLC, of course. Starting to be one of the older ones now, I guess. It's from, was that last year? Is it? I guess it was. And looking at fuel gauge down in the bottom left, got, I'm not stopping, Oh, okay, I stopped. Nobody coming, so that's fine. Looks like I've got nearly full tank. I filled up on the last video, so that's great. This job is paying almost $1,000 now. Looking at the account balance, I only have $3,700. This job will pay enough for today's loan payment. I learned my lesson. I'm using the engine brake. But anyway, this job will pay enough for today's loan payment, and I'll need $1,800 for Saturday's loan payment, Sunday's loan payment. Whoa, that AI traffic. There was no reason for that car to stop. It was going to be plenty ahead of me for me to merge in behind it, and yet it just decided to slam on its brakes right there where I was trying to merge in. Genius level AI traffic. But anyway, yeah, so $1,800 for Saturday and Sunday. Then another $906 for Monday, because it's unusual for me to have a $900 job done before the loan payment of the day. So what is 9 times 3? Be a little over, well, I guess it'll be that was just telling me that I was changing lanes. Okay, so 9 times 3 is what? 27. So 2718 is what I will need for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I've got 3,700, so that will actually be that will be just under $1,000 less. So if I do nothing other than this job, I've got plenty for the next 3-day loan payments. But hopefully I will have time after I do this job to take a job to either Moline or Rockford. Now, if I don't, I might take a job somewhere else in Illinois. It won't be Chicago, though, because I'm saving it for last. And actually, my plan is after Chicago, I'm going to probably head over to somewhere in... Oh, this isn't a World of Trucks job, so I can set the cruise to 70. But I probably head over to Iowa because I haven't been to... Have I been to Iowa yet in Realistic Economy? I'm not sure. But I'm thinking I might go over to Iowa and then just on Friday of the next week be in New Orleans. That's the plan. Does this lane turn, or can I stay in it? Yeah, this lane does not turn, so I'm going to have to slow down for this green car and that white SUV. Okay, I made it. And somehow my turn indicator got turned off. I know I had it turned on. That's weird. So yeah, that's my plan right now, is to actually be back in New Orleans. Okay, I see the truck. I'm not going to get into the right lane. And once I get back to New Orleans, I will go back to spending weekends at my home garage. This is looking like it's hard to read the GPS. Why are we? That truck came to what, 30 miles an hour, something like that, on a highway. 4-lane highway, just driving to 30 miles an hour. That was unsafe driving. Oh, maybe if I had my turn indicators on more. I'm not even stopping at a stop sign. You know what? At this point, AI traffic is out of control. So am I. Okay, looking around here, we have a truck stop. Oh my. Flashers are on again. Why does that keep happening? Okay, so over here we have a truck stop. Some kind. Looks like a hotel over there. And to the right we have Another truck stop is even larger with probably another hotel over there. And then right here we have a little gas station for road trip cars. And somebody around here is playing some loud music. So yeah, whenever Road Trips comes out, another gas station. But I don't know when that's going to happen. Looks like it might be a levee. Might be some kind of waterway over there, I'm not sure. Or it could just be the side of a hill. I don't know. But anyway, there was some news. Of course, the new widgets coming. They announced the radio is being reworked. I've mentioned that. They've also are updating the material system, which basically means the way everything looks inside the truck, which is something that they mentioned back in December that was being worked on. So that's coming in 1.60. That looked like it could be a hidden road of some kind. But there was another update that, or another announcement just today as I'm recording this video. And I can't remember what it was, so after I drop off this mower, I'm going to go back and refresh my memory, because my memory needs to be refreshed. And this is an all-way stop or four-way stop, since there are 4 directions. That police car was definitely here before I was, so they should go first, because that's how four-way stops work. The first vehicle to stop goes first. If and only if 2 vehicles stop at the exact same time, the one on the right goes. And if 3 or 4 vehicles stop at the same time, if it's 3, it's the one on the right goes first. But if all 4 happen to stop at the same time, the rule is you basically have to work it out amongst yourselves. And let's see where to park. Alright, and I did just get credit for discovering Effingham, so that's good. Alright, it's going to be over there somewhere. Okay, this is a whole area to drive into. I don't think it's inside that barn. I'm thinking it's going to be right here to the right. I was thinking correctly. Alright, going into manual looking around mode. Can I get the trailer to turn? I don't think so. Okay, and now it's going too far the other direction, but think it's straightening up now. And I feel like I need to straighten up the truck anyway. All right. Let's see what we get for this one. $987. So, like I said, that covers today's loan payment. So let me see if I can find another job. And while I'm doing that, I'll see what that other announcement was about. All right, well, I'm still here in Effingham. I've actually come further into town to pick up this Bobcat excavator that's heading up to Moline here in the state of Illinois. There's a lot of construction going on around here, so let's get on the road. All right, well, this will bring me down to just needing to get to Rockford, I think is the other city. And after Rockford, it will be on to Chicago. This is another job paying $900, so the loan payment for today should have come out. Yep, looks like it did. Nobody coming from there turning, so I should be clear to turn right on red. Yeah, despite the sign there, that's the local branch of the SCS Bank. Yeah, quit beeping. I'm already stopping. And well, I haven't heard anything from the SCS Bank since I've been up here in Illinois. I know they're still keeping track. They have a GPS tracker on the truck, making sure I don't head north into Canada. But yeah, still no news about when British Columbia is coming. But there has been an update on the next state. It's going to be Indiana, which I think everybody on Reddit was already guessing Indiana, even though it makes no logical sense to most people. Yeah, for once in their lives, the people on Reddit and their lack of logic has actually paid off by guessing something that nobody with logic would have guessed. Indiana. Now, as of right now that I'm recording, they haven't actually said it's Indiana, but they put out a video and it was very obvious that there was a racetrack involved, and everybody's speculating Indianapolis. but we still don't know a release date for South Dakota, although it's almost certainly coming with 1.60, which will probably be June, July, or August. And then British Columbia, most people, I think, are speculating that British Columbia is probably not coming until next winter, maybe January, February. I suppose it could come out around Christmas, but I'm not counting on it. British Columbia is going to be huge in ATS, so well, we'll see. But there's other news for 1.60, and other than the radio update, which nobody asked for, and that is the rest and break update. Sleeping, it looks like it's going to be more like it is in Farming Simulator, where when you go to sleep, you actually can set how long your sleep will be. They're not turning, so. It's like I will be up here on a loop. So yeah, rest will involve picking how many hours you're going to sleep, and it will tell you when you pick that number of hours, will this make you legal to drive when you're finished? And it's not only going to be sleep, it's also going to be taking mandatory rest breaks, which I generally haven't gone out of my way to do in the Realistic Economy series. Technically, you're supposed to take a break after every so many hours of driving. I'm not sure how many hours that is. If I was driving in real life, I'm pretty sure every 3 to 4 hours I would be taking a break, but that's just me. I don't have a CDL, not a truck driver. I don't know how it works. I'm just going off of what I read on Reddit from the highly illogical and yet somehow good guessers about the upcoming estates. Anyway, so the new simulation will not only do sleep, it will also do breaks. Now, in the Realistic Economy series, I use the console, developer console, to change the time and not simulate the sleep schedule. And it looked like in the menu that you can simulate breaks and sleeping separately. So that might be interesting. The question is, and I didn't really understand from watching the video, can you take a break anywhere, or do you have to be at a rest stop? Because I would not want to have to take my break at a rest stop every time, because that would get hard. I would rather take my break, at the yard after dropping something off or picking something up or something like that. Oh, that truck, it's nice enough to slow down and let me in. off of this onto another loop up here. Now, another bit of news that has nothing to do with ATS, but in the ongoing saga of what's going on with the Bachmann F7A that I bought back at the end of January, and when was it? Was it the end of February or end of March? I think it was March sometime. I don't remember when. It just decided to quit working. They replaced the chassis. It was not the correct chassis, but I was like, okay, it works. I'll overlook the fact that they gave me the wrong part. And they sent it back. They did do the work for free. So, replacement. They did the replacement for free. Yeah, I've had it for just a day over 3 weeks now, and it was running. It started squeaking and last weekend, so I did lubricate it because I thought, it probably needs oil, and I've got oil that's made for in-scale model trains, so I lubricated it, put it back together. I had trouble getting it to go back together, but I finally got it going. It was working fine for a week. No more squeaks. By the way, the squeaky engine gets the oil. But anyway. There's probably a truck dealer over there that I didn't discover. Oh well. So anyway, that was a week ago. It's been running pretty well since then. Pulling great, running fine, running smooth. Probably smoother than it was when it first came back. Almost as smooth as the original when it was working. And it was running today. It had probably been running for 10 minutes around my loop. My layout's just a loop. It's not anything fancy. It was just going in circles, and all of a sudden it just stopped. And when it stopped, like, you just knew something isn't right. And I thought, well, maybe it got hung up on something. It was not hung up on anything. It was stopped. And there's the Illinois River. Oh, we're in Peoria. That's nice. So yeah, I going straight here. So I started looking at it and trying to figure out what was wrong. I thought maybe something had jammed up in the gears. I looked in the gears. I couldn't find anything. Thought maybe it just wasn't getting contact with the track. The problem with that theory was that the new Bachmann Super Chief starter sets in N-Scale have a light board that makes contact with the frame and then sends that power from the board into the engine, motor, and into the light. The light is coming on, so the board is getting power. It's apparently the motor that isn't getting the power. And I don't know why the board is not sending power to the motor, because as far as I can tell, the wires to the motor are still connected. I did open it up and take a look just to see if it was something, simple that I could maybe just wiggle a wire and make it work, but I couldn't. So, yeah, 3 weeks. So, since I got the thing the last week of January, it worked for I think it was right at 2 months and stopped. And then it came back and worked for 3 weeks, and now it is once again stopped. And my conclusion is, by the way, I have the windshield wiper set to auto. Yeah, so they're working on their own. That's good. My conclusion is, if you are wanting to start your own model railroad, don't get a starter set from Bachmann. Now, on the other hand, I have a Bachmann 262 Prairie, New York Central. From what I've seen, not a realistic example of a New York Central 262, but anyway, it's it looks good and it runs great. I mean, it doesn't pull but maybe 4 or 5 cars in the most. But it's based on Bachmann's 060, which is generally sold as a switcher, I think. So it's really not made for, oh, there goes a train right there. Not really made for pulling heavy freight. I use it to pull, actually I got a set of, well, it wasn't a set, I had to buy them individually. What? You know what? These AI cars, all he had to do was keep going, and he would have gotten through, and then I could have pulled out, and everything would have been fine, but the AI traffic has to do AI traffic things. So anyway, yeah, so apparently the faster you go, the faster the windshield wipers go. That's nice. Moline's right up around the corner. So yeah, if you're planning to start a model railroad, don't get the Bachmann speeding starter set. My advice would be to get a Kato brand starter set in scale. I've not had any trouble with any of my Kato products. I've had them, well, I've had the 2 engines and the track for right at, well, it's been a little over 2 months now. It's been about 9 or 10 weeks, I think. And they may quit working today or tomorrow, I don't know. But so far they're doing great. Now, I'm not going to judge all of Bachmann, because like I said, the 262 Prairie is doing fine, and their non-starter set engines may be great. Their rolling stock is the best, I think. Let me see where to park. But yeah, in my opinion, I would avoid, and will in the future avoid, their starter sets. But like I said, their rolling stock, I think, I've got a couple Atlas cars. I've got a couple, what's the other brand? Microtrains. I've got a couple Microtrains cars. And Microtrains, of course, now is owned by Atlas, and I say, of course, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Atlas just bought them, though, so I don't think I hit it. So, yeah, if I was doing it again, I would have ordered the Kato Super Chief starter set. It would have cost quite a bit more, you know, but don't think I would be having the problems I'm having if I had. All right. So let's see what we get. And yeah, this will be my last delivery. I got another $800. Not bad. Um, that'll get me through the weekend, and I'll be back next week with ETS2, of course, and then I'll be back here in Realistic Economy series on Wednesday, is the plan. So thanks for watching, and have a nice day.